Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here. We're coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport, and our next guest is Phil Roos, actually kind of a frequent visitor here. He's the director of EGLE, which is the Environment and Great Lakes and Energy for the state of Michigan. And as always, Phil, thanks for being here, and thanks for looking out for some of our most precious assets here.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate what you do as well, and pleasure to be here.
Well, we're just getting the good word out, and you're always a big part. End of year report. So tell me about this year's report, what's in there, initiatives, etc.
Yeah, you bet. Well, it covers a range of air, land, water, community engagement, and a variety of other things. I think a couple things that jump out at it for me. One is it's talking about environment and public health protection and impact we've had there. But there's usually an economic growth benefit in terms of jobs or money saved and an impact on communities. So that's sort of a common thread that we see, and there just a number of areas that I really jump out at me.
Well, it's kind of interesting because you talk about the impact on communities, and brownfield redevelopment has to be in there. I mean, that has as much impact over the years as any. Tell us a little bit about that and its significance.
Yeah, you bet. Well, the Brownfield Redevelopment Program is, just to go back to basics, we collaborate with communities to create economic opportunities to put contaminated sites back into productive use, while at the same time protecting human health and the environment. We have 26,000 or so contaminated sites around the state, and often they're on really important plots of land. They may be near transportation or other resources, being able to hook up to the grid, those kinds of things. But they can't be used because they're contaminated. And so we have a program of grants and loans that we provide businesses to help them to de-risk their investment. And it's not just businesses, it can be communities that want to develop brownfield sites for a community center or whatever. It helps de-risk that investment, defray much or all the costs of the contamination cleanup, and then allow them to invest the money on building the business or the center or whatever there is they're doing. That creates more sites that are available to people and helps boost our economy. It's generated a lot of jobs over the years as well.
Why am I seeing old gas stations in my head? I remember when that all started out, and they actually had a cleanup fund for gas stations in those days, and they ran out of money in about 6 weeks. It was unbelievable how many sites they had to clean up. But you're right, it instigates developers and takes the risk out of it, which really gets things rolling. So they say if you can't measure its efficacy, then why do it? Tell me a little bit about measurables and the impact that your program has had on Michigan's economy.
Yeah, well, first of all, just let's start with the environmental cleanup and both preventing contamination and also cleaning up contamination. So our recycling rate jumped for another year. It's up from, I think it's 14% back in 2018 to 23% in 2024. We have a long ways to go. We're trying to get to 29% by the end of the decade here. That's preventing contamination, less waste in landfills as well. But then we've made a dramatic impact on the number of sites that we've addressed through our remediation and redevelopment program, just through staffing changes, through process improvements, and a variety of other things. That has made more sites available for redevelopment through the Brownfield program. And just over the last several years, we do have stats on that. We have been able to, since I think it's like 2019, we've put $160 million into investments in 402 properties. And that's tracks to about 19,000 jobs. And it's leveraged $45 in private investment for every dollar that we put into that. I can't think of much of a better return on investment than 45 to 1. And it's because you're de-risking that initial stage and then allow the money to really flow in.
So I think you just got a vote of confidence from the governor, whose budget recommendations include you. Tell me about that.
Yeah, you bet. Well, there's four major areas. There's clean water and water infrastructure, which has been a big area of commitment for the governor. Over $5 billion since 2019, 75,000 jobs, saving ratepayers a lot of money, and really remaking our water infrastructure in the state. There's commitments in contaminated site prevention and cleanup, and I think that's a lot of what we're talking about here. One of the big proposals is an increase in the solid waste surcharge or the tipping fee. So that's designed to do a couple of things. First of all, to stop having Michigan be a magnet for out-of-state trash. We have by far the lowest surcharge on solid waste that's dumped off in a landfill in the upper Midwest,
Yeah.
1/15th of the average. So it just creates a disproportionate incentive for that to come here. And then the proceeds of that will be used for waste management efforts to prevent contamination and also to put more money into site cleanup. And yes, you guessed it, brownfield redevelopment, which
Well,
can really have a really high return, as we
Phil, I
mentioned.
know there's a lot of work to do, but you're the guy to do it, and you've been doing it, and we appreciate it. Phil Roos, Director of EGLE, the Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy for the state of Michigan. I'm Chris Holman. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business